Well, I think it's high time that a film from Africa puts queer images on screen, as kind of basic as that sounds. It's not something that is really part of the vocabulary of African cinema. I gave up a lot of control in making this film. It was a decision that I knew that if I was going to make this film that was going to be the case. I was making a film in a language that I can barely understand. I was stepping into a very intricate and complicated cultural space that I was new to and that I was learning about. I knew that I needed to find collaborators, not just creative collaborators, but actors who could really own and inhabit the realities that they were depicting on screen, and who showed me the truth of a lot of the situations that we were trying to get to in the film. It was an incredibly humbling experience. We took this task very seriously of cutting away anything that was kind of contrived or superficial or nonsensical about the story, and really just always asking the question, well, like, how would it be? So the whole thing was set up to allow the collaboration of a large group of actors, not just the principals, but the extras. They contributed significantly to what is on screen, and they were given a lot of autonomy to propose and show something of who they are. So one of the things that interested me was what happens when strong emotional and physical urges are repressed, and the kind of toxicity and violence that comes as a result of that. We were telling a kind of a queer narrative. We were telling the story of characters who are gay, whether they're kind of out or closeted, in this very masculine space. And that's why I chose to tell the story from the perspective of outsiders. I know that there is a lot that is not my place to talk about. There's a lot to be said about the initiation that I have no interest or inclination to talk about because I'm not Xhosa. This film is the perspective of an outsider. And of course, not to impose any conclusions, but simply to kind of open up spaces to say, hang on a second, there are men in this world who desire other men. Let's create a space for this kind of character to exist, and let's talk about it. Let's use it as a starting point for a conversation. It might not be my own story, but if I can be a part of facilitating that conversation, then that would make me incredibly happy and incredibly privileged.